The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Last year is my fourth child, and so already with my third child, with Eliora Malka, so we found out when she was born, and a day in, all of her blood cells were being killed. She needed a full blood exchange transfusion. Baruch Hashem, with a lot of nisid, and she had complete refuah, and totally fine. And we found out from that point on that every child would be a lot of Mesiras Nefesh, and basically work with high-risk specialists, and it came out, which none of the doctors ever played how this occurred and why it happened, or only starting with a third child, but mine and my wife's blood is incompatible in a way that's extremely rare. There's some more famous, things like this, but this is very, very rare. In fact, when it happened the first time, there were posters up in the hospital about our case, teaching the doctors about it. And so every child, and the nature of it, every child that you'd have, it gets more and more intense. Wasn't clear if we'd be able to have a fifth child. That was a lot of nisim also from another time. We'd tell the stories of here all night though, but with Nessia, and my wife was gonna have blood transfusions throughout the whole pregnancy. Would you have to understand what I mean? Blood transfusions. That's not what you think. Hook up to an IV, which itself is some blood in it. It's basically a needle like this, straight into the abdomen, straight into the placenta, giving the baby blood. Now, because of it, but it's so intricate and so tiny, and to make sure there's no anesthesia. You understand, to be able to have a child, so my wife, pretty much 7 times or 8 times through the pregnancy, had to have this done. And then other IV treatments and different, I don't even get into all of it, just to be able to have, Baruch Hashem, a healthy baby. Already after fifth child, the doctor said we couldn't have any more children because of it, but with Nisim or the Brachos were Zayfe. But with Nessia, we're already knowing going in that we have all of this going to happen. We're working with top high-risk specialists, and my wife goes in for a sonogram about 6 weeks into the pregnancy, and the doctor looks at her, looking at the sonogram, and says, "I'm so sorry, but there's no heartbeats, and there's a deformation of the head, and basically, if you don't miscarry, you're going to have to abort the baby." There's no. And then he first said that to her, just nonchalantly somewhat. I'm not even there with her, whatever I felt. And then says to her, "But if you want, you could wait a week, because 1 in 10 million is a little bit off, but she calls her own doctor, her regular OBGYN, this was a regular, and she's coming in 2 days, and over the procedure, if the baby, whatever it is, and just start over your Bachshem, I was told you have 4 children." My wife comes over, obviously it's difficult, but okay. We're talking about it that night. The first doctor's in, even if 1 in 10 million, so wait a week. Why not wait a week? When we're rushing? It's a few day difference. Just wait a week and do it. Faith. And then we're going to adopt it, and we'll go for brachos, and we'll see what happens. What do doctors know? So that weekend, not only did we dive in, and obviously it's all of the daven, but when that Sunday of the week was going to be up on a Tuesday. That Sunday, at first, I went for a bracha in the Skolana Rabbi. Skolana Rabbi was a big tzaddik because of the Holocaust, a Kaddish Tiki Yid, Kaddish Kedash. If you have this chus to go daven in Monty, I'm sure some of you have been by the Rebbe Rebbe, to daven in Monty by the Visions of Cemetery, go also a few feet past him are the Skolana Rebbe and his father. We're big tzaddikim, survivors and Holocaust. There are famous stories about them, incredible people. So I went to the Skolana. My wife's uncle was there. Went to Skolana Rebbe, and I told him about what's going on. So through a gap, I could speak Yiddish, and he gave a big brasa. He should be a lay but take a heart, and everything should be good. Fine. Right after that, the Skver Rebbe Shlita, the Skver Rebbe was in Flatbush that week. And I was with another friend of mine, and we were able to get to the Skver Rebbe, and I go to the Star Rebbe, speak English, and Skver Rebbe is also very big on refuahs, and I tell him the whole situation. He gives me this whole long bracha. And I look at the Rebbe, and I say, "Rebbe, could you give me an eighth, or maybe something I should take upon myself, maybe a tefillah that I should say, mizaychet to refuahs, yeshuos?" He looks at me, and he says, "There's nothing you have to do. Everything's already okay." So I look at the Rebbe again. I said, "Oh, maybe and I tried to say it in the sense of maybe the Rebbe didn't fully understand. The week's up into it." No, I understood everything. There's nothing if new, everything's okay already. And my wife went to the doctor on Tuesday, and it was a perfect heartbeat, and everything was, and the head was normal, and but a beautiful child, Nessia Tiyulik. Obviously, Nessia, miracle of Hashem, because of this miracle and many other miracles. Before I tell you the story now, started off, we mentioned Nisan is a month of miracles. And what's the miracles of Nisan that we usually would focus on? We focus on the miracle of Kriyas Yamsuf, the miracle of the 10 Makos, the miracle of Yisir B'Tzrayah. But we said here tonight that maybe the Iker of Nisan is not even Pesach, when the Akamas HaMishkan. And that's when the Bria Olam was finished. Because that's what we do. And I like to tell you that I believe that strongly. See, what was the miracle of the story I just told you about my daughter Nessia? Most people heard that story that the miracle was that Baruch Hashem, that she was okay. And the Skver Rebbe, Shlita, with like Mamish Navur, Kodesh, a story from the time of Baal Shem, was willing to say to me on Sunday and look me in the face in the eyes and say, everything's already okay. 4 days before, a doctor said there's no heartbeat and deformation, you have to abort the baby. And this Saddik's telling me everything's already okay. And he was right. And I went back to him to thank him, and of course he looks at me, wouldn't even take that car as I'm told. He says, oh Hashem. So you think that's the miracle? It's miraculous that a man in this world, it is 13 years ago, 2010, is living in our world, Bashan, go visit, he sees women, you go get a brothel from a man that's able to have Ruach HaKodesh. That's a miracle. No. Let me tell you something. To me, that's a miracle, you're right. But if that's a miracle, everything's a miracle. I mean, that's Hashem. And it's just as much a miracle that we'll wake up in the morning, and the sun rises, and then I breathe, and then I see. There are miracles from Hashem every single moment. And really, it's just a play of words. A miracle for Hashem is a play of words. Is there anything different to God than what's natural and supernatural? It's just as much a miracle that we're all here, breathing and living as it is, for the Skver Rebbe tell me everything's fine already. So what are miracles? Those are miracles, of course, when we see it, we're inspired, and that's tremendous. Those are miracles of Hashem. That's Pesach, the miracles, which are also important, and also give us chivra, and also give us source. But the bigger miracle, I believe, are the miracles that we perform. That my wife says, to bring another yid into the world, I'm going to go, and you don't understand what it was, to go, and I know going into it. We already have 3 healthy, beautiful children. No, I'm going to go, and I'm going to have, and I'm not only with Nessia, with Uriel Nas and Svi, and go every week and have treatment done and have blood transfusions. Have literally, this is why men would never be able to have children. Like, it was me, forget it, finish over. I'm not having a needle like this put into my abdomen 7-8 times. Like, over, getting 3 children, call it a day, right? Nashim Sikanios that are willing to go, and that's the miracle. For me, that's the miracle. That's Messiah Nefesh. The miracles is what we create. The miracles are what we do. When we daven, when we're close to Hashem, even when we have, and we all have our challenges, and we have difficult in our life, and dark in life, but it's there, I'm with Hashem. I'm with Hashem, and I'm going to still daven. I'm going to still dress with sneas, and it's going to be the summer, and it's going to be boiling hot, and my family, they come from a more modern family, and they're all going and involved in whatever it might be, and I'm still, no. I dress the same way. I'm with Hashem. So the miracle. These are the miracles we create. And that fulfills the purpose of this world. And there's no question, when we create those miracles, Hashem brings us back His miracles. And therefore, that's the month of Nisan. Nisan and Rosh Hashanah, right? The people think it's the miracles of Pesach. The miracles of Akamas HaMishkan. That first Kodesh. The miracles that we create. However, don't stop creating miracles. Don't stop creating miracles. And it's just that each and every one of you continues to create miracles. All these actually the miracles from Hashem as well. Enjoyed
this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org